What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV back here for another Tottenham update. You're lucky because you weren't going to get any content today, but there has been some news doing the rounds today, so we thought we would bring you a Tottenham update. First and foremost, we got a confirmed bit of news, official bit of news from the club yesterday that Cameron Carter-Vickers has officially completed his transfer to Celtic. I've been seeing news around that it's about 6 million with 4 million in add-ons if he meets some sort of criterias. But finally, Cameron Carter-Vickers has left the club permanently. He was at the club for a long, long time with a lot of loan spells. A few successful ones, a few not so successful ones, but obviously the most successful one of the lot was his one just now at Celtic, winning the league and getting a lot of plaudits out there in Scotland. So I just want to wish Cameron Carter-Vickers the best of luck for the future.
Yeah, and look, it's a good deal for Tottenham. He's had a brilliant time at Celtic, getting in Team of the Year, the SPL Team of the Year last year. And I think, look, you can't ask for any more because last few summers, I think people would have accepted 2-3 million. So to get 6 million plus add-ons, potentially rising to 10, I think you couldn't have wished for a better deal if you were Spurs and Daniel Levy. So good luck to him. Hopefully he improves in the future. Maybe we'll see him back in the Premier League in a few years' time. Who knows? But well done to Cameron for getting the move, and good luck for the future.
Absolutely. Now let's move into more juicy stuff. We're going to start off with Jed Spence. So we brought you the news on Friday about Jed Spence, how something could be happening very, very soon. I'm going to read you 4 updates I've got from 4 different sources. First one was from Fabrizio Romano, and he says Tottenham are interested in Jed Spence since a long time, but they've not reached full agreement to sign him up despite the rumours. Alex Crook follows on from that and says Jed Spence to Tottenham is very close to being done. The Mail says that Tottenham are expected to confirm the signing of Jed Spence as early as next week. This is the real key one here from Ali Gold. On Friday, he said Spurs not there yet with agreeing a fee for Jed Spence, but there is an expectation that things should move on in the next 72 hours. The player is still with England until Monday night. Big piece on that state of play to Tottenham. And next 72 hours could be very key. On Saturday, today, he says confirmation from Middlesbrough side that no team is in advanced talks for Jed Spence yet, but as he wrote earlier, developments expected early next week. So I'm actually fully expecting this deal, maybe not to be wrapped up next week, but to hear that this is at a very advanced stage from next week as he comes back from international duty on Monday.
Yeah, seems to be moving quite quickly. Although there were apparently some reports from, I think it was like from T side today, saying as of yet there's nothing advanced in Jed Spence, and that might be true. But I do think it's very clear that we're very interested in him. It's very clear that we're going to make a move for him, like in the near future. And I think apparently Paratici thinks he could well be a long-term solution for our right wing back issues. And I think for the way he's played, I think for his ability to get up and down that wing, for his age, I think he's an extremely promising prospect. And I think the price as well, homegrown English talent, it's an almost no-brainer for that price. It's a quite low risk, high rewards potential transfer. But is it the kind of transfer Conte would be used to? Probably not. He'd probably want someone maybe a bit experienced, but we are still linked with other wing backs. So maybe we are thinking about letting 2 go and bringing 2 in, which would be definitely the ideal solution. Because I do think he wants a higher quality, more experienced right wing back than Doherty and Emerson there. As well as Spence. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. But I am very excited about potential Spence coming in. And I think the fact that it's moving quickly is exciting.
I've got a slight feeling because Spurs are being linked to a lot of left backs at the moment. And obviously we've signed Perisic just now. And I've got a bit of a feeling that we might be looking to ship out Doherty and Emerson and use Spence and Perisic on the right and then use Sessegnon and a new left back on the left. I don't know how you feel about that, but that's kind of the feeling I'm getting at the moment.
If they feel he can do that job, then I'm all for it. He's not obviously he's more used to playing on the left. He's very 2-footed, so and he predominantly I think people might even say he's right-footed. So definitely, there's no reason I can think of why he couldn't play on the right. But he doesn't usually play there. For Croatia, I don't think he's ever played there. He's always been definitely like firmly on the left. And for Inter Milan, he's had a few stints on the right, but also very predominantly on the left. So maybe that's something that they feel like he can easily be coached to do, and it wouldn't be too much of an issue. And if that's the case, I'm all for it. But we know he's adaptable, so maybe that's something they're looking at.
Interesting. And talking about left backs, we've been linked with a player called Owen Wijndal, the young left back from AZ Alkmaar, who's got big potential. Santi Auna says that Tottenham are in talks with AZ Alkmaar over a deal for left back Owen Wijndal. So I mean, I haven't seen him play too much, but I've kind of like seen stats and stuff like that, and he does seem like a big up and coming left back. I think he's 21 years of age. Around that age, and I think he'd be an asset for us. What's your opinion on Owen Wijndal?
Yeah, I mean, he seems like a promising left back. He seems like he got a mean cross on him. He's got 10 assists last season from left back. I've seen some clips of some of his crossing. It does seem to be pinpoint. So another young wing back potentially coming to the club would be very promising. Obviously, he's, as you say, he's on the left. So what does that mean for Perisic and the right wing backs remains to be seen. But he definitely seems like he's got a very good quality in the final third. Obviously, in the Dutch league, it's a bit different. I think he has a few caps for Holland as well. But it'll be interesting because if we are thinking about using Perisic on the right, then having two pretty much 20-year-old, 21-year-old wing backs on the left could also be something that Conte looks at because he wants a bit of experience. But maybe he'd be happy to have two wing. Maybe he feels like the quality would outweigh the experience in that case. But he seems promising. He seems good. I don't know if he'd be a decent price, but it seems to be like if we're getting him in, there's some very young players we're getting in this summer.
Yeah, and we spoke about for ages before Conte came in how we kind of need to bring the average age down of the squad, and it was getting on a bit. And it seems as though they're trying to do that. And I think it's important to have like a mix of experience and youth within the squad. And I think that's the kind of way that they're trying to go. Obviously, bring in Perisic, Jed Spence, two different parts of their career. You know what I mean? And when the likes of Kulusevski, Bentancur, Romero, that also mixes a bit of experience and youth as well. So I like the way this transfer window is going. I really do. And the key part and the most important part of this video, we're going to talk about Richarlison now, and that has really broken today. It started off with Bruno Andrade, who was speaking about it, and he says Richarlison is in advanced negotiations to switch from Everton to Tottenham. The value of the negotiation is around 60 million euros. Brazilian striker already discussed his contract with Spurs. And that's a key update from Bruno Andrade, because I was looking online and people were saying he's a tier one source, first of all, but he's very reliable when he's talking about Brazilian players, Bruno Andrade. So that's definitely a plus there. But we do have updates from different sources as well. Ali Gold has been talking about it, and he says the indications within Tottenham are that nothing is happening right now with regards to making a move for Richarlison. However, Paratici is a big fan. David Ornstein even chimed in with his opinions, and he says that Tottenham are interested in signing Richarlison from Everton this summer. However, the North London club are not to be believed to have made an offer so far. However, sources close to Everton believe that Richarlison to Tottenham has a good chance of happening. The Toffees know that they are unlikely to get over £51 million for the forward. And The Athletic also said Tottenham are interested in signing Richarlison, and some within Everton expect the move to happen despite 60 million euros being the asking price. And it's strange, this one, because all the noises coming out of Everton and maybe Richarlison's camp are saying, like, edging towards the move. And then Ali Gold kind of put a bit of cold water on it, saying like nothing's happening right now.
I don't think necessarily they contradict, because I don't think right now, maybe they're just at early stages trying to feel out the move. And I think that could, like Bruno Andrade was saying, they're in advanced negotiations in terms of the player. I don't think in terms of the club, I don't think he's saying that there's been a bid accepted or anything. So I think that all kind of makes sense to me. Look, for me, Richarlison, I've made my feelings very clear. I would absolutely love him at the club. I think he'd be an unbelievable signing. I think that he's done really well at struggling sides ever since coming to the Premier League. Came first from Watford, Then after 1 year, we left. If we've got to remember, he left for 50 million to Everton. You know, you could argue they overpaid for him, but he did leave for 50 million 4 years ago. Consistently gets over 10 goals a season. They've struggled consistently ever since he's got there as well. So it's not like he's been in flourishing sides. Mostly a lot of defensive sides as well under Ancelotti and Benitez and stuff. And I think he's always done a great job. I thought last season he really fought for the team when they were in dire straits and they were looking like they were going to get relegated. They really needed him to step up, and he did that. And he did that so well. And I think they would be relegated if it wasn't for Richarlison. Has a bit of a mean streak about him, but I think you'd rather have that in your team than against you. And I think he covers two positions really well. You've got to remember he's 25 years of age and he's got potential to be a star. As much as right now you're thinking, yeah, he's probably not going to oust Kane and Son right now. But you know what? In a year's time, I'm not saying he's going to be ousting Kane and Son. I'm just saying, you know, he could be a potential star. And with Kane and Son, you know, getting towards 30 now, I'm not saying it's their careers finishing or anything just yet, but you have to start managing their game time. They can't be playing as we had gave that update with Kane. He's playing in the critical zone for large part of the season. That can't be the case again next season. There will be plenty of game time for Richarlison and for Son as well, in place of Son, because you've got to start managing him with the way he plays as well. So I can't think of a better player, many better players than someone like Richarlison to come in and do that job. And he's going to start plenty of games in Champions League as well. And because he's got two positions he can cover, I think he's got such good quality, great dribbling, brilliant finishing on him, really hard worker, one of the best, got some of the best defensive stats for forwards in the whole league as well. So super hard worker, would fit Ryan with Conte. I would love him at the club. I think he's well worth the money for me.
I think that my personal opinion is that I really like him as a player. I want him through the door. I really do. I think that he'll be an asset to this club. The age he's at, a very good age. He's got good experience, a Brazilian international. Like you say, can play two different positions as well, striker and left wing. I just feel like the price is being banged about 60 million, 50 million pounds is a bit much for someone that's not going to come in and start week in, week out. But I definitely accept your point in what you're saying, that there's a lot of games next year. Kane and Son can't keep playing every single minute of every single game. So there is going to be game time for him. So on the flip side of that, I've been critical of Daniel Levy about not getting in the targets and skimping on money here and there. So I don't really care how much he's going to cost. I really don't. Just get him through the door if we want him. Just get him through the door, because how many times have we dug into Daniel Levy for not spending the money? And now when he does spend the money, we're just like, oh, you're spending too much on him. Like, if you want a target, get him through the door.
I don't think 50 million is that outrageous in this current market. And you got to remember, they signed him for 50. So do you think his price has decreased over the past 4 years?
I don't think his price has decreased, but I do think they overpaid for him at the time.
Right, but has his price not increased?
Well, it depends on what it's hard to know a true value of a player. I mean, when I look at Richarlison, I'd probably say that he's worth about 35 to 40 million, something around that ballpark figure.
I think, but I reckon you sign him for 50 and his price could even shoot up after one great year.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I mean? So I think he's worth the money.
No, look, I think that regardless of the money, he's going to be an asset to the squad, and we should bring him in.
I'd be super excited. I'd be super excited if we brought him in.
And you're looking at Richarlison, right? Who's going to be ultimately the Bergwijn replacement, right? And that's a massive upgrade. It's a massive upgrade, and you're not going to have the sulking of Bergwijn where, you know, when he was on the pitch, he done well, but, you know, he's sulking behind the scenes and what have you. Richarlison's going to come with a point to prove, being his first season at a big club in the Champions League. I don't think he's ever played Champions League football before.
No.
So I think it's a massive, massive opportunity for someone like Richarlison. And like we say all the time, with the 5 subs, with the increased amount of games as well with the Champions League, he's going to see a lot of minutes next season. So
exactly.
I think it's a brilliant move. I completely agree with you. I mean, I don't love him as much as you love him, but I think he's definitely a good player to have through the door. I would just like to be a fly on the wall when he comes into the first time in training, when he meets up with Cuti Romero again.
I'm sure, yeah. Look, obviously it'll be a bit of banter, but I'm sure, look, they'll put it to one side. They're professionals. And that was, look, it's obviously funny that obviously what happened in the game, and like you kick the shit out of Richarlison and whatnot. But maybe he'll be happy that Romero's on his side this time. So that's
Yeah,
what you got to think about. And
yeah.
I just don't agree with people saying he's gonna why are we paying 50 million for someone who's going to play 30-40% of games? I don't look at it like that. I look at it, you're adding quality to the squad, and I think he's going to have plenty of game time.
And people are saying, "Oh, it's eating into the budget and stuff like that." But once we sell Bergwijn and Winks, that's pretty much going to pay for him. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, maybe give or take 10 million. You know what I mean? But it's more or less gonna pay for him.
yeah, 100%. I think he's well worth it. I really do.
I mean, if I offered you or offered you most Spurs fans, would you swap Bergwijn and Winks for Richarlison? You'd probably say yes.
In a heartbeat. In a heartbeat.
Exactly. And that's ultimately what we're doing, I think. And I think Winks will probably go the other way. So, yeah, I think it's good news. I think it's good news for Spurs. And it looks as though Richarlison and Jed Spence could be knocking on the door very soon for Tottenham Hotspur. And then we still need to move on and sort out that left centre-back role. And there was a few interesting reports on Bastoni, weren't there, saying that it's not all dead in the water. And maybe something can happen. But it all depends on the Skriniar deal. And it seems as though Skriniar might be edging towards PSG now.
But you never know in football. Until deals are done, they're not done. And I don't think this Bastoni thing is completely dead until everything's settled, and nothing's settled yet. So as long as Inter are signing players and they haven't got anyone out the door, and things are still up in the air financially, I think there's still potential for the Bastoni deal to happen. Albeit it seems as though they want to keep him more than other defenders. But doesn't mean at this point that that's definitely going to happen. And I think I think it's one we're going to have to wait and see. But I don't think it's the end of the story just yet.
Have you ever witnessed a more exciting start to a transfer window for Tottenham?
Can't remember one.
I don't think
not
ever,
at this stage. No.
The window's been open for a few days, pretty much. We've already wrapped up 2 signings in Perisic and Forster. Jed Spence and Richarlison looks to be pretty advanced, even though there's no deal being done for both of them just yet. But reliable sources talking about both of them. We're talking about spending big on a left centre-back as well. I mean, it's so exciting. It's so exciting right now. And I just can't wait to see what develops now. I really can't. 100%. And I'm going away for 10 days from Saturday. I'm going to be like you on when you went away and we signed Conte. I'm just going to be glued to my phone the whole time.
Yeah, literally. It's what it is when big things happen. You just can't help yourself. And look, big things could be happening over the next few weeks because we go to Korea on the 13th or the 10th or whatever it is. So this is a big month for them. Yeah,
a month ago, exactly. So anyway, that's our news update for today. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any thoughts regarding any of the news story we brought to you today. Put your opinions on Richarlison in the comments below as well. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on,
you Spurs.